Welcome. Today we're not cooking because I feel like for today it's extremely warm. It's a dry element here in Las Vegas, so it's not even nice. So I don't feel like cooking today. I'm gonna give myself a break. But then when I'm not cooking, I'm always doing something else. And a few days ago, I crocheted these beautiful flowers. This is the Cambodian flowers. It represents the Cambodian international flowers. Okay, so it's go by the name of Rum Dual. Rum Dual is a very famous name for a lady name also. Okay, a lot of Khmer woman named after flowers. Magnoliid, Rum Dual, Gravan, name it, all kind of Cambodian names. So I have thought about creating this. It took me a little bit to come up with this beautiful beautiful textures, beautiful patterns. Okay, it took me a little bit, you know, that I love crocheting. Crochet is my life the same way. It's not as much as cooking. I love cooking more because I like to get in the kitchen and cook delicious food. But when I'm not cooking, is what I do. I crochet a lot, and I have a whole bunch of crochet product. Let me show you, because then you'll be saying whatever. So so here we go. I crochet a whole bunch of headband. Okay, look at that. This is my first Rum Dual flowers. I make it to headbands and some roses, okay, some red. But then red is not the color of Rum Dual. Okay, Rum Dual is usually yellow. So this one right here, I created of two violets and purple. And this one right here, I'm gonna give it away to my lucky followers on YouTube or on TikTok. Okay, so I'm creating something. So this one right here, I did not use for my head, but the rest I use on my head already. I use this one most, and of course this cute little one right here. So these are roses, and this only Rum Dual in its colors. Okay, so I also have a whole bunch of scarf. Let me show you. Let me go under my bed because I got a whole bunch under my bed. Anyway. So believe it or not, I have a whole bunch of scarf that I made for myself, you know. Look at that. Beautiful leaves. This is the what do you call this? These are the lotus flowers. More beanies. And a matching scarf with this one right here. Look. And then this one I didn't make. This is a knitting. Okay, it's hot. Anyway, so so you got an idea that I'm crazy about cooking as much as crocheting. Okay, so I kept some of these for myself because I got in a bad habit where I always giving away, sell it or sold it, and then giving it away to people around me. So I never really own any. But then I have about 10 that I kept for myself with different colors, different design, you know. Yeah, I believe it, I I went and did all that. Let me see. Anyway, I have about 20 more. Yeah. So this one right here is cute because you just wrap around your neck like that. Bit heart shape. I got some pink ones, some white ones. So I got big one. This is the smallest one. So that heat. I don't like that heat around my neck, neither my hair right now. I'm gonna put it up because it make me sweat. Yeah, even the air conditioning running is still hot. Let me find something for my hair. Yeah, because I love long hair, but I don't like the way it does to me in summer. You know, just like the dog. You know, when it get when it get too much heat or too much heat, it's like it build that little, you know, that heat around the neck. So that's why you always see me put up my hair. It's not that I don't have hair, I do. It's just that it's just when I have hair around my neck, it create like a 10-degree hotter for me, you know. So if I keep it up like this, I feel better. Yeah. So just like I have restless or warm feet syndrome. So I never like anything around my feet, even wear tennis shoe. Oops, sorry. The linen from the from the yarn. So even wearing shoes for a long period of time it cause the warmness to my feet. So as long I have my jean like on the top of my knuckles, I'm good. So I don't know. You think I'm abnormal? I can't agree with you because to me I'm normal. But if you think I'm not normal, then right. So to do this flowers, okay, let's get back to the flowers. Okay, I can go on and making fun of myself. So in order to do this, I have to create these beautiful petals. Okay, so start with 16 chains, and I have single stitches, 15 stitches altogether, and then I increase to single crochet, double crochet, triple crochets, and down slope to get to that this this leafy look. Okay, I know Kachampa is a little bit stout here, it's a little bit rounder, but I'm happy just the way this result come out. Okay, so I had quite a few petals already. Oops, my bad. Yeah, use your feet if you have to. Okay. So I have this many petals. I have about 9 petals. So this flower here, okay, so it has, luckily it's only have 3 petals, the outlet petals, and then there was 3 petals in the middle here. Okay, so I'm trying to bind it so that way it does not open, because for some reason Rum Dual, it has this like the textures in the middle of the blossom. I don't know, I think it stayed like in the round shape, but it had its own individual 3 individual petals. Okay, so I make gap between it, as you see, but then it's conjoined on the top here just to keep it in the round in a round circle. No, circle and round the same, so in like in a little circle. Okay, so but it had a gap. It's a bit detailing, and then I make the I make this part here to create the stem, and then of course I have this wire that I can bend it, you know, look at that, and I crochet around to create the stem. Okay, the reason I didn't do completely because to create this small stem is like it's a lot of work, but then I'm going to create a basket for these, and eventually I will make a bouquet of it to see how it goes. So this is going to be a tidbit of challenge to make a, maybe I'll make a dozen of these, okay, into the basket. Maybe this will go home to one of my lucky YouTuber, or my my YouTube follower, or my TikTok follower. It's depends, okay? So you keep it up and supporting me, and I will like randomly select people's name that are on here supporting me, and both in TikTok and YouTube. Make sure that you leave me comment though. You know, if you don't leave me comments, I don't know that you were here, and if I select someone else's name, you'll be upset. It's like, she's not fair. Yeah, that could be issue too, you know, is she not fair? But I wish I can produce like hundreds and thousands of this so I can just send to everybody that follow me on here. But this is what I'm gonna do for people that will give me that loving support, because I, like I said, because you truly supporting me, so I wanted to give that same support. Let me fix the camera on my YouTube, because I thought I wiped it good, but for some reason it's still, I'm not sure, because I'm sitting in front of the mirrors, not mirror, windows. Okay, so window. So not sure. Let me check on my camera first, because for some reason it had that. Is it? Not sure. Might be my eyes. I can't be blaming on the lens. I could blame on my eyes or my screen, because my screen is dirty. Not sure. Hold on. Give me a second, please. Because YouTube does not have that. Well, they do have all those the editing thing, you know, but too much of it is no good. You know, you want to look as natural as you can, so that way if people see you out shopping at a grocery store, that they will still remember you. You know, they're not like be exaggerated by your TikTok look. You know, because I know that TikTok have like a beautiful what do you call it, enhancing the beauty. So, you know, you can turn an ordinary woman into a gorgeous, extraordinarily gorgeous woman. So that too. But let me go ahead and start this project, because I don't want it to drag on and on and on forever, because I already finished my my labubu. Hold on. So remember that I was working on labubu, so I finally completed labubu with full accessories. Beautiful, cute shoe. Look at that. Hold on. Yeah. So you notice that the labubu is scary, but it's not true now. She had green bracelet, a compliment with her outfit with two-tone of greens. And she even got a little sandal to go with it. So cute. This is like, it's not ordinary labubu. Her name is La Nunu. She's a cousin to labubu. So, yeah. Now let me know if this is cute. But though this La Nunu will go home with some lucky fan. Yeah. So, keep it up. And let me know who like labubu, La Nunu, La Fufu, okay? Because the fake one is La Fufu, I think the real one labubu, and this is La Nunu related to labubu. So today my daughter went and got me the durian and an avocado cooler drink. So it's rich, it's delicious. I can taste the that unique taste of durian. So here we go. I'm making the finishing of, not finishing, the work of the petals. So what I'm doing here is the triple crochet. I'm doing 2 double crochet. If you're experienced crochet person, you will grab on and understand the concept quickly. Okay, but if you not familiar with this kind of work, I could start with basic crochet for us, if you be interested. But but if you are advanced crochet person, this will be easy for you. If you're beginner, you will be able to get this also. Okay, if you're interested, I don't have I have the pattern for the labubu, because I have to figure it out. That take me a little bit of time to figure out labubu. Okay. So it depends on what size labubu you'd be interested in. This one right here, I have written, or I have created pattern for it already. So this is off my own creations here. Okay, so I got the inside labubu work. So it's the outfit. Oh. So the outfit and the physical body of the labubus are separate. Okay, so I just make the extra outfit for her. I call her because she's cute. We name her Lalunu, related to Labubu, first cousin. And she's not scary at all, because I pick her fang with all these what you call that? Bracelet? Compliment with her outfit. Yeah, it just matter of creation. Okay, I mean, it's a fun creation, and now my grandkids saw it, they all want one. So, and then another baby girl from the outside of in-laws, when she saw me making it, she said, will you please make one in rainbow for me? So, oh my goodness, this product lines would be like, I only have till when 3 more months before Christmas, so I better get to work. Then I better crochet this day and night. But what I'm doing here, I'm creating Rum Dual, which is the Rum Dual flowers, into a bouquet. I'm trying to make this into a bouquet. Yeah, so it's going to be a beautiful bouquet of Rum Dual, Cambodian national flowers. The reason I'm crocheting Rum Dual flowers is to promote my birthland, Cambodia. You know that Cambodia is in such a distress conflict with a good neighbor for a long time, and now their country is about to be wanted to be taken over. So to make fond memory and support of Cambodia, I'm crocheting these Cambodian national flowers called Rum Dual. If you have a daughter, if you Cambodian descent, you want to name your daughter Rum Dual, you could. It's a beautiful name. I have cousin that named named Rum Dual, Mali, what else? Champa. Okay, Champa is another famous Cambodian flowers also. Let me find it. I got it. Oh, hold on. Oh, dangy. Oh, I can smell it, but oh, here we go. So once I'm done with Rum Dual, I'm trying to crochet Champa. Okay, so you know that my daughter brought a plant from California. So this Champa, this right here, oh, it smells. Oh, I only have one blooming in the backyard, okay, but then the sense of it, the fragrance, the sweet fragrance, I can smell it even in my front yard. So the smell's so potent. Hello, Debbie, love you. So Champa has a lot of petals, okay, so it has multiple layer of petals. Oh, and in Cambodia, what women in Cambodia does is that they they hang these on the hair, so that way she would be her natural perfume. Okay, so what they do is that they they grab onto the petals of Rum Dual. Okay, so twist it around and grab another petals and insert the hair and twist it around to interlock the flower onto your hair. So if you are in Cambodia and you see a woman have this Rum Dual on their hair, that is because either her name is Rum Dual or that she has this beautiful fragrance on herself. Especially the Apsara dancer, they wear a whole bunch of kachampa on their hair. And this also can be part of the flower layer in Cambodia. In Thailand, for example, when they make the flower layer, they usually combine these garum dual, into their cluster of flowers. And then when I went to Thailand and I bought the jasmine flower layer that had garum dual part of the crusted, and it smells so sweet. So I took with me on the trips, and the thing smells so good. And with these, you don't have to wear any perfumes or or body spray because this have the beautiful fragrance. So in order to get the Kajampa plant, you have to go online and order it from what you call it, from the nursery. Okay, so I just happened to be lucky. I'm not lucky. My daughter did. She went to her side of family and his side of family in Fresno, California, and his aunt was kind enough to air cut, no, not air cut, propagate this, and then got the plant started for her, and she brought it home, and like like it's more like for me, okay, she like to see the joy of me having this these exotic my flowers. So yeah, it's so she was happy with that, so she told me that I should take care of it, so that's what I do. So I'm guarding this plant with my life. I water constantly. In fact, when she first here with us, she got it last winter, and she survived the first winter here with us. I just left her on the east side of the house along with my jasmine. I didn't cover it, but I leave her by the wall. That way she can get some sheltered from the wall. So she survived through the first winter with us. I know that she survived through when she was with the other family. But for her to survive through Las Vegas element, that was something that I really feel like a big accomplishment. So then after the harsh element subside, came spring, and she started blooms. So she gave me a good amount of blossoms, and I enjoyed it for a couple months before she went into recession. And because the winter comes, and that changed the whole dynamic of her existence. So now she have to learn how to combat not cold but heat. So then after she survived through this whole summer, and she started blooming again. So this is some of the flower that I picked the last couple of days. So I make her a vase out of her leaves. Okay, so there's a blooming of it. So to keep her from to bloom, extended her blossom, the blooming. So I put her in here to keep her in confinement like that. So then I smell this all night. It's like the whole room is naturally fragrant. So that was really nice. Okay. So this is Jampaka. Okay, right here. Pretty, right? To all the women who name Rum Dual. This is Rum Dual. This is Champa. So in my family, my my first cousin, my mom's niece, biological niece. Um, one name is Rum Dual, one name is Champa. Okay, so they have both Champa, Rum Dual, and then one of their son married a girl named Malik. So now they have 3 flowers going on in the family. So I didn't name my kid after any of the flowers I could have. But all my kids start with the letter V. I don't know why, but I had such a beautiful name for my kids. But then he said he's the father, so he wanted to name the kids. So he started his children name with the D. It's a beautiful name. But I add them the beautiful middle name though, like long middle name, which they had some meaning to it, and I hope they love it because I don't have a middle name. My mom Barry named me when I came to America because, so you go back to the petal. So this is the petal of Rum Dual right here. Okay. So I never have middle name. In fact, I didn't have name until my mom going through the process of creating the family document coming to America, which is we have to have name for kids, because I had a birth name before, because the things about the Cambodian folk is that they are so superstitious. They believe that that girls that if they name kids from birth, and that it's gonna cause some sort of a mishap. So they believe that the dark spirit will find the babies if the baby has a proper name. So they're always giving a calling name, a nickname for the kids. Sorry, I have to do the counting. So because my farmhouse is well, because my parents' home is on the top of the river, and then the farmhouse is near the river, also no, near the canal. So because my mom gave birth to me near the canal, so then their first their first we call it their first instinct was to name me Canal. Krong is Thai word, mean canal. Okay. Canal. So that was my birth calling name, nickname. So it's not a legit name, but then all my family know me by Krong. So I'm always been known as Krong in my family. I mean, the company's taken over. I was about 11, leaving Cambodia in 1974. And when we were in the camp, petition for asylum to come to another country. Well, my dad already named kids, and he has it on his family book. So, because my dad was educated, and my mom wasn't. My mom never been to school. Same thing for me in Cambodia. I never got sent to school like my brother did. So what happened was that my dad have the family book, but when he was in the camp, and there was one of the family members who was in the para, we call it para soldiers or para armor, army. So he's one of the volunteer unit called the Hien Para. The Hien Paras are the trained civilian soldier to provide the aid to the military, right? To the soldiers, what have you. So sometimes they do bear arms and in the combat zone. So one of my cousin who make escaped the Khmer Rouge, and my dad met up with him in the refugee camp by fate, and then but then he joined the Para unit. So he assumably that he he had returned to Cambodia to help to join the force and fight the Khmer Rouge, I believe, at that time. But then after the war's over, after Cambodia gained its independence, or they're free from Khmer Rouge, and my cousin never come home. He know his own home in Cambodia, so we believe that he may have been unalive while fighting front lines. So never knew where he gone to, gone to, and the family never discovered where he went to. So that was a big loss for our family also. So why do I mention this? How do I start with this? Hold on, let me remember. So, oh yeah, well, back to how I got my name. So I've been called Krong all my life until I don't know where my dad came up with Vanna, okay, because Vanna is not Vanna, it's supposed to be Vanna, okay. Vanna is like the day of the farm. So my mom was telling me that because I was born in the year of dragon, which is the lunar year, or the Khmer 12 the 12 animal characters. So I fall into like the majestic Royal Highness of being born on the year of dragon. So being born in the year of dragon as female, my family says okay with that. But if it's a boy, then they will love that because it signifies of powers and glory. But because I was born as a woman, so the glory wasn't on me. But my dad has a tradition where before he start the growing season, okay, the farming season, my dad will put me on his shoulder, and he would with the offering. Okay, so my mom will create offering, the fruits and the proper offering to the deities and to the Mother Earth, to give her thanks, to pray for protection, for prosperity, for fertilizations and all that. So my dad would have me on his shoulder, and because I don't know, I'm just saying that I don't know how that's supposed to be anything. I don't know, but my mom believed that being being a child born in the year of dragon, it bring that much of influence for the families, and use me as the not sacrifice, I mean, in an offering, I think, this offering, so I learned this from my mom. So I was like, okay. So when we came to the camp, and I learned about my new name, I'm like, okay, all gathered. So I always now have my name as Vanna. Okay, but Vanna, it was already in the family book, so it was nothing that, not that I don't have a name, but it was written in the book, but it never really show it until needed to be shown. So to have the legit name and identity to fill out the informations or the form petition for the asylum in another country, because we don't have legal documentations, and those are destroyed during the Pol Pot. They strip all that identity from us. So a lot of people came with no identity. So they have to create new identities. They have to remember who they are and where they came from, what year they were born, because the record keeping is not correct. So a lot of people do have a lot of had discrepancy in their birth year, because it's not go by Gregorian's calendar, it go by lunar calendars, so they have to trace back to which period of lunar calendar this person was born in. And so for me it was easy. So I was at a time, I was in my first round of lunar year, so it traced back to 1963. And same thing for my brother, who was born in the year of no in the year of actually 1964 for me. So for my brother, who was born in the rabbit year, was 1963. So so there's a discrepancy in my birth year also. So it got me 1 year older than my original. But actually, because the reason it happened, the mistaken, because the Gregorian calendar, which is the Roman calendars, and the lunar year, because Cambodian year fall in April. Okay, so I'm between, so I am both born in the year of the dragon, the year of the rabbit combined. So because Cambodian New Year's in April, and the Gregorian calendar New Year is in January. So I'm between there, right? So my dad said that, well, I was born in the year of dragon, so I resolute that I'm born in the year of dragon. Yeah, give me those fangs and and the torch, and I'll be singeing. So the name was given to me in the legal binding with the U.S. immigration, because we got accepted in America. Uh, uh, Asylum accepted in America was denied in France, because the health reason that my dad was facing at the time of our request for asylum. So I did talk a little bit about my background, in 1975, when Cambodian overthrown, when the Khmer Rouge, the Pol Pot, and what you call those people? They call them Khmer Rouge, which is the Khmer Krahom, mean the red, or communist. Okay, so anytime when you hear the word rouge, rouge mean, I think, red in French, so mean that it's communist. Okay, something bad, just like, it's not like Red Cross though, got red and white, symbolic of peace, unities, and humanitarian. So we got accepted in America. We came, and so I was known as Vanna. So then, strange, because about 7 years ago, my mom aunt-in-law, all of her uncle were killed. So only survival widows and his children, that was supposed to be my my niece and nephews, according to the family tree line. So because my grandpa is the oldest son, the older brother of my, I don't know, it's complicated with that relationship, but I fall in the category of being their niece or nephew, something like that. so we haven't seen each other, though we live in America. I don't know why my family end up in Stockton, California, and the rest of families, especially on my dad's side of families, I mean, whole clans are like settled in Long Beach, California, and a majority of my mom's side of family settled in San Diego, California, and Southern California, Santa Ana, in that congested neighboring country there. Okay, so in that area is supposed to be like the second largest, the first largest of Cambodian community. They have like 20,000 something of Khmer people live in that region. I think Minnesota, Boston, Massachusetts, had the largest concentration of Cambodian. But you know why I share with you? Because when my great aunt died, belonged to my great grandpa brother, his wife passed away, so it's on my mom's side of family. So my mom wanted to stay connected with her family, so she I joined her in the visiting with the family and attend the family funeral function. So no one really remember me, save for Buna. She was, or a few, okay, Buna and her sister, but a few of them were really young when we departed from the camp, so they don't remember me. But Buna, she remember, because Buna was only a few years younger than I am, but she remember living in the camp and in Cambodia. So she remember my birth name also. But when I was with my family, so I introduced myself with my formal name, so people don't know who I was. But then my mom said, "Oh, don't you know that is Krong?" And everybody turned, "Krong? That's Krong." Yeah, they remember my given name. So yeah, I got to meet some of my cousins who are, some of them, one of them sergeant at San Diego Police Department. One of the female cousin are doctor in the medical field, and one of them in the construction engineer. So, and then I have to learn about my family. I was ashamed of myself because all this year living in America, I wasn't really connected with my family. So with that funeral allowed me to come closer to my family, and I started writing a lot more on my family tree. So I got more picture of family, connect with Facebook, so I can have like an ongoing relationship and contact with my family on my mom's side. But on my dad's side, we so connected. We a lot closer than on my mom's side. They're more isolated. But on my father's side, we a lot closer. We see each other more. We contact each other more. We have each other phone number, and if there's anything going on, event or any kind of activity going on in family, I was able to just take a few days visiting them Southern Cal. And in fact, one of my baby cousin, or a few of my baby cousin here in Las Vegas, and I had a text from them, and I have not been able to come out and meet them. I guess they out there having too much fun, and typically if they're here in town, they will come to visit my mom, because my mom considered the only survival seniors generation after their grandmother passed away. My great aunt, my dad's older sisters passed away when she was 106. My dad passed away a few years before his sister at 84. So but my great aunt had long life, and because she came from that longevity, her mom died when she was 125 and her dad like 118. So yeah, so the name was Cambodian don't see names as crucial identifications until the kids started school, because my dad didn't enroll me in school, so my name is not known until we left Cambodia, until we have to fill out the sponsorship paper or the traveling document with Thailand coming to America. Then I learned of my true name, which is kind of weird because I have to get used to the name, the documented name. I'm like, Well, it's not a bad name, you know. I mean, Vanna. So now, so I'm known for Vanna, the VANNA, the INNI. I mean the INN. So you know that it was funny because when I was working with the community organization, I often get sent to different conference and important cooperation, or I mean corporation, or what you call it, coalition meeting with the communities at large and stuff like that. So I always got sent to different conference and meeting. And so one time we were at Holiday Inns. So so one of the front desk girl is that, welcome Miss Inn. So she was flattered. I thought I was the owner of Holiday Inn. So that was flattering. So another time when someone called to my office, said, hello, is Vanna in? And my secretary would say, I'm sorry, Vanna is out. No, is Vanna in? I know, she's out. So by the time they got the message crossed that I'm out, and then the caller said, Vanna, her last name, INN. And then my secretary, yes, Vanna, last name with INN is not in, she is out. That was supposed to be funny. And said, oh, you mean she's out? The secretary shook her head. She told me about it. So I thought it was funny, right? I mean, people can be so misconstrued in my last name. Because the last name Inn came from my grandfather, who, I don't know, there was higher god name of Pre'an, you know, that's where I think it was came from, is the Pre'an, was the Inn guy who, like, I don't know, I don't have enough information about the Pre'an, okay? So Pre'an is supposed to be like the high form of the Buddhist god or what have you. So I'm not gonna go there and make a fool telling you guys something that I'm not sure about, but the Cambodian people know what Pre'an is, right? But I'm not saying I'm related to Pre'an. I'm just saying the word in is coming. It's derived from that kind of line of name. Okay, so that's where I get my last name from, because my grandfather's name is Inn. So that's where we name after. When in Cambodia, we take our name after our father. Okay, but because the information screwed up, and my dad had like a weird last name for his last name. He's supposed to take his father's last name, but then the children end up having the great grandpa last name, great grandpa name. That's supposed to be, my generation is supposed to carry my dad's name, my dad's first name, and my dad's supposed to carry the last name as Inn, because that's his father. But because there's so much confusion, I think that interpretation went wrong and misconstrued the information. So we end up with our grandfather as last name, and my dad had some sort of last name which is to depict the name of my father's birthland in Thailand. So that was strange, because my family started questioning me, that how come your dad had strange last name? I'm not about to go back and dig up the information, because then, you know, it ain't gonna be good. So then we resolute with whatever was on the formal I-94 documentation. I-94 document is the binding legal document that came with the family portraits and the mugshot and form of identification, as to to leave refugee camp in Thailand to another part of the world, in America, Canada, Britain, somewhere where where asylum was accepted for that family. So, and then after arrival, certain time, they can apply for the green card adjustment and remove the status adjustment. After a certain period of time, they qualify to become U.S. citizen, so far and so forth. So that's where the concepts of, I mean, that's the channel where refugee immigrants such as myself have to go through. And that's why somebody asked me earlier in my other conversation about how do I feel about current immigration, right? So I'm not going to go through that because I don't want it to, because my kid don't like me to talk politics on here. He's like, Mom, don't talk politics on there, okay? Because I'm fine with that, But for me as an immigrant, I get it. It took me 5-6 years, the process to come to a country that I can call home permanently. So it take a long process, and I can see it was a long process because at the time when the refugee are being brought here, they have to go through sponsorship programs. Okay, so if there's no sponsorship, then through church or organizations that have the funding to sponsor the refugees under the refugee enactment and a refugee fund. So a lot of American do sponsorships, and a lot of my friends and families and community members have American sponsorship. For me, same thing. My uncle was here beforehand, and with the corporations of sponsorship programs, he was able to sponsor us and bring us here. Otherwise, we would have gotten sent back to Cambodia. If you remember that, there was a story about the Ghost Mountains. I think I shared with you guys another time where I think I talked about that already. Okay, I don't want to go back and revisit it. But there's a story written called Ghost Mountain. There's a short. There was a really, really good, informative, sad, and mishap story being told about the Khmer people who got sent back or forced to go back to Cambodia, or they were forced to go back to Cambodia. Hold on, what's the word? So they were forced to. Okay, so the refugee camp was full, and Thai don't have the capacity to deal with a large influx of refugees from Cambodia, especially the Laos and the Vietnam. So there are three kinds of refugees, okay, 4 or 5 if you count, because in Thailand, I mean in Laos, the tribal people from the hillside in Laos called the Mong, the Mi, and the Lao Tung, the Lao Tung. So they variety, just same thing for Cambodia. I mean, different ethnic minority groups came. And the Cambodian have another subgroup called Khmer Krom too. These are the groups that came from South Vietnam. They are some of the original Khmer people that live under the Vietnamese rules, and they had control over part of that Cambodian soil. So I have family members who went through the Ghost Mountain story, where Thai forced all those refugees on the it's not even pickup truck. It was more like 18-wheelers. They said that they were being told that they're moving them to safety, to safe camp. But then something tells those people that it didn't sound right, because UN trying to evacuate people from, at the time it was the camp that between the borders, so it was not safe. So they wanted to come on the safe side of camp, which is in Thailand. But then Thai government said, we don't have room for you guys, so give UN 24 30 hours to remove as much. So the one that not getting removed from that camp by the Red Cross or by the rescue missions or rescue agency or rescue, what's it, Red Cross rescue, UNICEF, somewhere there, my bad. Yeah. So Thai took care of those people, forced them onto the moving trucks, and they believe it there's about 40,000 Cambodian people that was forced to return to their homeland in the midst of in the mid of atrocity, meaning that though Khmer Krahom or the Khmer Rouge wasn't really free, but then but but the area where they're being transported to, it's called Phnom Dong Raj. Phnom Dong Raj now is part of the landmark that Cambodian trying to protect from the overtaking by the Thai government, the Thai military. So it's known as the Ghost Mountain because people hear the cries of the victims of the Khmer people that were forced by the Thai soldiers. It was a steep cliffs where they have no choice but to jump, to fall off, to roll off, and so my cousin was a lot younger at the times, and she was one of those victims with her family, her husband. So they both got sent back, but it was not sending back to safety. They sent them back to be persecuted. So everybody rolled off that steep cliff of the Phnom Dong Rag. There's a documentaries where this gentleman, his children created, helped create the history of that, what you call it, the massacre. So he went back to the area where the spot where they being dumped on, that deep of the mountain. And sadly, you have to watch the Ghost of Mountain. Then you understand what I'm trying to say, okay? Because it's such a horrible, horrific memory to remember. I remember the gentleman when he told his story. He was, his emotion was like, he showed the deep emotion, his painful memories of how he survived and how many people didn't make it through. He said there was about 40,000 of Cambodian refugees that was forced back to drop off that cliff. So it was emotional for him to talk about it, and it was brave to talk about it. And it's something that I like to do for my story also. I have thought about doing, I talk a whole lot about it. In fact, I'm almost finished with my book called Rising Lotus. This book is not about my personal experience with escaping in the Khmer Rouge and things like that. My book is about empowering Asian women, or especially Cambodian women who had gone through the struggle and to try to overcome their livelihood, and how they can empowering by become education, learn the language, overcome their cultural barriers and things of that nature. So I just have to a little bit touch up on my books, and it should be available on electronic versions, and I may have some soft cover copy also. It's called Rising Lotus. Okay, it's going to be a beautiful, inspirational, empowering book for women who need a little bit of push to get involved, to get themselves strength and seek the support that they need to better themselves, to overcome whatever life given. So it's a very beautiful narrative and showing strength and history of the Asian woman, how they became part of the history, being part of the movement from the past history, from the Apsara dancer, the goddess of the Angkor Wat, down to the generations of women through generation of their struggle, their prosperity, their posterities, and passing on the image of their unity, the image of their cultures strengthens, and the foods and the practice of the religion and the beliefs and the preservations of the cultures, and still of 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 being the womanhood who, especially the attire, the textile, where the Asian women create their own textile clothes, and do the thing that Asian women possess, which are some of the crucial knowledge to allow Asian women to become the leaders of their own country, the leader of their own families, and how they can share and be inspirational to another woman. So as I was working in the community, so I provide advocacy, meaning that I always being the bridges for the community, because serving in Stockton, California is home to about 18,000 Cambodian and about 15,000 of the Laotians and Vietnamese, the Hmong in combined. So they have about 45,000 of Asian population in that small city. Okay, Stockton is not very big; it's very small. It's very clustered, and it's very cultural, diverse in that small community, and its richness with the agricultures now, the Asian farms, and that's why I love Stockton, California. I love Long Beach. I love San Diego, and I love Fresno, Modesto, Lodi, because it's such a great diverse of farming communities to bring a kind of delicious fruit and vegetable from home. And I don't have to go to Cambodia to have beautiful vegetable from home. Now, in fact, there's a Hmong family who grow Asian rice, and they're able to produce the Asian wine. It's like the rice wine. You're like, cool. That's like, come on now. That's far advanced for Hmong people. I have to give that great credit for them. I read about their um, there was a magazine who feature them. This Hmong family who came from a refugee experience like I am from Laos. They are the Highlander called, you know, the blue or the white Hmong. Can't remember which clan was, but then with their family, they have saved enough money to buy farm large enough that they extended from family farm to the community farm. They grow massive of rice, and with that rice they able to produce and have a market for. Beside that, they know how to make booze, the Cambodian, no, it's almost like the the hard liquor, the white liquor, and people who like what do you call it, um, vodka, similar to that. But this is produced by the Hmong family in Fresno, California, or Modesto, California, somewhere there. So I'm proud of this community, because Hmong people, I love Hmong people from Laos, because I don't speak the languages. So Hmong language is one of the languages that I have issue with, because for some reason I'm more receptive to Vietnamese language. I depict, so I speak very little. Well, I speak some Vietnamese, but in Hmong, when I was in Fresno, I was working with the community-based organization that served in the adult day programs for about 4 years. I only learned 2 words, okay, Chichidua, and then Hong Moi, something like that. Me, sorry. Sorry, my Hmong people, I don't even remember. But one of those mean let's go home, Jijido, and then Jimono. What is Jimono? Meaning I don't have money, something like that. Because I remember this because when I accompany, I was a job coach coordinators, and so I get to pick up my client from their home and take them to the community and teach them life skill. So majority of my consumers are Hmong speaking who have severe mental challenge, and some of them had speech impairment, hearing impairments, and ambulatory impairments. So we have all kind of adult and young adult from the capacity, and it's a pleasure because I don't know. I never learned the language. I'm the only Cambodian worker there. All of my job coach, there's about 6 or 7 of us among job coach, and I'm happen to be one of the case manager. I mean case the coordinators. So I just remember that when I'm the only one that can't understand Hmong, and to the point where I'm like, it was uncomfortable because I don't understand Hmong and people keep talking, and you don't understand them, I mean, but then I love Hmong people. They are sincere people, and especially for me to work in that capacity. So I gotten to love the adult day program who work directly with Valley Mountain Regional Center. If you know who those agencies are, they take a great deals of work to with over caseload, working with the community with challenges, and they will match them with whatever the agency that will match with their capacity, and allow the agency to work with the family and individual and bring them out from their home, get them out of the home, get them job, allow them to get job, allow them to have normal learn trading skills and life skill. It was a lot of work, I mean, I remember when one of my clients, he was a few years older than I am, and I'm not going to name him, but he has mild syndromes, okay, Down syndrome. So he was a smart guy, and he liked to cook. So he used to work in the restaurant. So he liked to do the flambe, So he was really good with cooking. So he can cook fried rice. He can cook all kind of food too. So I remember when we have gathering, he'd be cooking for us, and he show his skill. He's proud when he flipped the pan, when he do the flambe. He want us to notice it and to give him the applause and the recognitions, and he used to bring food from home to share. He's always cooking, and that's he's good at. He does not have another skill beside cooking. And then there's another young lady, and she's in my group because I speak the languages. So I have the Lao speaking, I have the Cambodian speaking, and we have some Vietnamese also. So I have at least 3 nationalities that working with me that are my consumer. We call consumer because they the one that come into the program and consume, be the benefit and benefactors the program. So our job is to pick them up, take them home, and take them where they need to be. If they work, then we would drop them up at work and pick them up from work and take them home, provide them safe environment, and teach them how to use the bus, teach them how to have a life skill, to teach them how to be motivated to get out of the home, to have a normal life, teach them how to shop, teach them how to buy clothes, buy food, and some of them even learn the basic skill enough for them to have their own apartments and have their own living arrangement and move out their family environments and handle their own grand. Sorry, YouTube. See what happened with talking too much. Anyway, so let's go back. So that's what I have been doing for many years, is had that beautiful experience working with the adult day program that provide a life skill. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, folks. For real. So life skill training, job skill training to those beautiful people. I remember one of my clients, um she's so bright. Okay, so um one of my clients that I have, I still have some of her drawing. She's she loved drawing and she's good at sketching. And there's another person, she loved origamis. Oh, she create like she, okay. So you never know this person have developmental challenge, but then with certain capacity, especially someone who has autism or Asperger, you know, they have certain capacity that they're good at. They're only good at that one capacity. They're not multitask. They're not, you know, they life skill is not strong. You can train them over and over years, up to years. It's like it forever. They don't adapt to it. But then there's certain thing that they're good at, you know, like do origami. They like do this like beautiful origami, fold all kind of shapes and size and imaginable. So one year we started to do fundraising for our group. So she volunteered to do rose origami. So I got some funding budget and went and purchased the floral um supplies, and sure was we sold a whole bunch of rose origamis and enough for us like went shopping and celebrating ourselves with ice cream and stuff like that. Those are some of the fun memory I have with people from the community. You know, I mean, so much love. I miss them though. I could have gotten in, keep in touch with them when I left the program, because they taught me so much. It's not so much about me teaching them and coaching them the life skill, but it taught me more than just they more than I can teach them, because those people, they are loving, special, with that innocent heart, you know, because at their capacity they don't have male intent. They just like pure as kids, you know, they in this big body and adult body with mindsets of children. So everything they do is just like kids, you know. There's this young lady, she's Hmong, and she's a beautiful young lady, but she had like severe mental delay. So she will soil herself, she will wet herself, and but she came out to the program, you know, she be part of the programs and have friends and be with her job coach and go out into the community daily. And because the family don't have time or cannot afford to do that, to bring um, the normal life, the normal, what do you call it, the normality of their life or daily life, okay, daily life activities. So when they joined the program, the job coach did that for them from 8 to 5. They have that many long hours, just like children in school. So I remember this young lady, she's on wheelchair, severe um, deformity. So she's on wheelchair, but she never be able to operate the wheelchair. So she lived the further. She lived like an hour driving. So I remember when have to switch between the job coach to delegate to pick her up from an hour drive, an hour back, an hour forth. But that's kind of program that we provide. You know, I mean, they get their mileage reimbursed, and the agency was able to buy the van that are wheelchair accessible. So it was a lot easier to pick up clients who's on wheelchair and with the lift and stuff like that. So the program was growing over time, but unfortunately I left the program due to the family needs. And when my dad took an ill, I have to leave everything behind and to do but take care of my dad. So I missed that program a lot. because it taught me more. Okay. So if I wanted to, I could have applied local job working with adult day program. I don't know if they have here in Las Vegas here, but in Stockton, sorry, in Stockton, because I'm working with linen, so it's getting in my nose. I'm about to allergic to this dust. So that is just my fond memory of working with adult day program, working with special need community members, and I had such a great memories, a great experience working with those loving people. You know, I love the sign languages because one of the young lady, I know a few of the young lady who are vision impaired, speech impaired, and hearing impaired. So just imagine that you were born with all these impediments. You know, you cannot hear, you cannot see, you cannot speak. The only thing you can do is you can smell. Okay, so she braille. I don't know who created the braille language. It was like I know that. Hold on, I forgot the history of the person who originated the braille language. Okay, so to read and learn the alphabet, learn the text with the finger. They read the text with fingers, and that was like goodness. Human intelligence is like beyond. I don't know. I cannot put into word how humans' intelligence really are amazing, creating all this language for the most needy. Okay, so I understand the American sign. American sign, North American sign. I saw the taught sign languages in another country also. But what fascinated me most was the sign language. Okay, so I learned a few sign language. Okay, so this is full. This is like go home. Um, Please and thank you. So it was beautiful. And I think mother or father somewhere there, and beautiful. Yeah, what else? Work, something like that. Okay, so it is beautiful American sign because I have some clients who needed American signs, and so we usually we only have American Sign interpreter during parent meeting or program meeting. On the regular day program, um, we we just communicate in the way that we understood each other. Because this young lady, she'll be smiling at me because she know that I don't sign, and but then she will try to understand, read lips. She read lips also. I don't read lip though, but she will sign for me, and so she taught me, and I carry pens and pencils, so she write in English also. So that's how I get around with the American Sign Needed community. So American Sign is like amazing, because I speak 4 languages and I work as independent interpreters in like oral language, but American Sign was one of the fascinating languages ever. I mean, I could have learned how to sign. It may take years, but I think it's possible. And then the Braille itself, I mean, the Braille itself was like amazing invention language. It's just amazing how life um, can be without the Braille language. And they have beautiful text. And in fact, in certain county or certain city, they have braille along the wall, like where I see braille on the lift, on the elevator, where the numbers indication on the wall, on the uh, on the switch of the elevator. So I thought it was neat. Okay, so when I was working with the special need communities, we advocate for the disabled right. Oh, the handicap or disabled rights are like the higher form of law. Okay, I mean, everybody have to conform to the Disabled Act, right? Okay, for example, the city have to provide wheelchair accessible for the wheelchair community, and remember that we used to advocate and rally for the city to put the wheelchair ramp for certain streets, certain park. You know, we pull out regulation. We have disability advocate, disability right advocate person coming in and train us and help us with the process, and we get a lot of things done with the Asian, no, not Asian, with the disability advocate right advocate. They had they explained to us that the handicapped people have so much right. If there's a renter who rent their property to people with wheelchair, they have to provide the wheelchair accessibility to the bathroom, to the kitchen, to the living, to the living, to make sure that they have access to that. The wheelchair have access to the bathroom, to the bedroom, to, I mean, if they have to tear down the wall, they would, you know. I mean, but that's why you see that a lot of renter don't work with the community of need, and then they get in trouble for denies any rental right to people with certain disability, or people with the wheelchair access, or wheelchair um, confinement. Okay, so with that knowledge, I learned that, you know, that human rights had certain level of power. So a disability advocate was one of those powerful agency that one phone call you can get things done. If medical ever play tricks on denying their wheelchair the medication right, or the medical treatment right, oh boy, one phone call, that's it, everybody got the tail upright running like mad dog. And I remember that it was it's such a powerful agency. I really learned from that, and with that experience, it's allowed me to use that as my teaching tool also. So when I see there's a need in the community, especially people who need the wheelchair access, and I continue to advocate for the community. Even when I already left the agency, I brought with me that knowledge, and I continue to advocate and help bridging the gap in my community, in the Cambodians and other Southeast Asian community. So and that's why become such a resource person, to be able to bring those kind of knowledge, to be able to provide the adequate advocacy and resources for those who really need them. So I was thankful for that great experience. Now that I'm in Las Vegas, I'm away from my majority community, but I'm still able to advocate on phone. I'm no longer with the agency, but I still have people who still possess my contact number, and people that I know in the community, my friends and my neighbors, and people who have known me through these years, still calling me. Just the other day, I was on the phone with a good friend of mine, was a client of mine, but then many years of serving the community, they became my family. You know, because if I'm in Stockton right now, I'll be walking in the community, my stomach would be bloated with food because people will try to feed me. So I used to visit Stockton, California unannounced, because if I announce my arrival, people will want to take me out to eat, still do, and take me to their home and feed me and give me hugs, and still want to give me gift, you know, because when I was working from remotely from home. Some of them don't even have not even seen me in person. So they always request that if I do visited them, they wanted to meet me in person. They have things that they want to give me with. I tell them that I don't accept gift, but then at least, allow them to feed me some good food. So what the kind of reciprocity, you get from the Asian community, you don't blame them because they feel the urge of rewarding someone who can help them. So I'm considered rich and consider fortunate because I have so much love and respect from the communities, and of course I give that love to my communities also. It's not like I just receive the love. I earn it. I give in love. I give in service. So with that consistency, with that dedications, I I receive the love in return. So I still a lot of people still calling me and needing help. Just like other day, I was on the phone with these persons, and he was not doing well, and I used to help him with his medical appointments. And since I moved here, he hasn't been seeing his doctors, and and then a year or so ago he was diagnosed with third third stage colon cancer. So one day he called me just to tell me, because I haven't heard from him. But he called me. No, I called him first, and he was telling me that what's going on with him. So he was saying, yeah, because you left us. So that, like, it hurt me, because he said when I left them, they didn't get enough help, so they didn't get to see the doctor regularly. So when they found out he had cancer, he was he's scared. So he said, yeah, sister, you left me. So when you gone, I didn't get to see the doctor regularly. And when I got real sick and I was in the ICU, and they found out what's going on with me, now I'm receiving my treatments. And then because he's already 65-year-old and he's been working a long times, and someone in the community trying to advocate for him and help him connect with Social Security and get the benefit going for him, but for some reason he was denied, and I think they appealed, but the process never gone through. So when I look at him, that you're 66 years old. I mean, with your qualifications, you don't even need to be doctor's signature to get on certain benefit. So I said, well, these people was helping me. They already took some money from me because they said that they needed to pay the doctor. I said, no, 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 that didn't sound right. The doctors that work with these, work for this, do not take bribe from people. What I come to find out, these people was helping him with the paperwork and all that, was lying to him and took the money from him. So I said, well, let's find out the status of your case. Then he said that, well, somebody helped him process it, but told me that that the money will come soon. But I've been waiting for 2 years now. My money never come, and my benefit never got approved. And they told me that, well, it's coming. Get all the information from me. The letter don't come to me, go to them. So they had control of everything, because he doesn't read English well. So even the letter come, he doesn't know what it is, and he give the letter to the person who assists him with the paperwork. And I think this person is not honest with him. So they just took his money, and so when I called, three-way call with the Social Security office and inquired about the case, so the agent was telling me that he had no case. His case was denied a year ago, and no appeal, no reconsideration application, and it was denied. And he said, how could it be? Because a person who was assisting me was telling me that, the case is fine, everything be fine, I'll get my money soon. So the agent said, no, you don't have a case. So with that, I went ahead and request a new application for him, and And 2 weeks later, he with that appointment, 2 weeks later, they was able to take his application and tell him that with the information they have on file already with the banking, direct deposit, and all that, and he was to expect his benefit in 30 days. So he was crying, calling me. I said that, well, I didn't know that you still be able to advocate for me. He said, what do you mean? I've been advocating for you through this time when I'm here, even the time where you and your sweetheart needed medical care. So this is how things are in Asian community, okay? It's sick and sad, and it's brokenhearted to learn that. So this couple has been friends, so same person that I'm talking about. So he has a girlfriend that they live together for years now. So she has a lot of medical issue also. So one day he called me up, said, sister, in distress, like in the middle of the night. I said, yeah, brother, what's going on? Oh, well, he referred her to his wife. My wife's not breathing. He said, what do you mean your wife is not breathing? Why don't you call 911? Said, I don't know how to dial 911. I said, oh my God, well, how difficult is it to call 911? Get off the phone and dial now. I don't know how to do that. Oh, goodness. So, okay, let me call 911 3 ways. I call 911. 911 is the emergency response in the state of California, okay? So I state the emergency, and then, yeah, so that's how I saved those people. So another time, so she was rushed to the hospital, diagnosed with pneumonia. So she was in a coma for a few days, and that's how I saved that a friend of mine life. So another time, this time when she went home and recuperate, and one day I got a call from her too, crying also, said, sister, help me, my husband is not breathing. He had asthma, so he has the ventilators with his what you call it, the nebulizer, so one day he was out in the living room away from his nebulizer, so he had one of serious asthma attack, so he wasn't breathing. So his wife called me with panic mode, and said, help me, my husband not breathing. Said, call 911. Same thing. Said, I don't know how to dial 911. I'm like, shake my head. Said, what? You be able to call your family in Cambodia, call your friends in Minnesota, and you tell me you don't know how to call 911? I said, no, I know how to call 911. But I said, okay, let's call 911. So 3 times, another incident, the same woman too. So she suffered from pneumonia. So it's another incident, same thing. He was in that panic mode and don't know how to call for 911. So actually I saved their life 3 times. Husband 1 time, the wife 2 times. So I tell them from now on, if it's crisis, call 911. Flip up the phone and dial 911 or 0 and leave your phone. You don't have to even say anything, because the help will come. Okay, the fire trucks, the ambulance will come. Okay, I said, I don't know how to talk to them. I said, you don't have to say anything. Okay, you just say, help. So then the same person, he was quiet for about a good year. I haven't heard from them, so I assume everything is fine, until one day I felt like I need to check on these people. Too quiet, so that's why he told me that he was diagnosed with 3-stage colon cancer and ongoing treatments, and didn't have any kind of income because he can't work. He'd been working enough quarter to be retired, and he's over 65 years old and still waiting for his benefit. People was helping him. Someone was helping him 3 years ago with the benefit application, and he's still waiting for his money. I'm sorry, that don't sound good, but let me call myself. Well, we did the 3-way call, and he had to verify himself, and then when we come to find out that he didn't have a case, so we have to help him reapply, and he's happy now. He should be getting his benefit. I should be calling him. So he was happy. He said, oh, I'm grateful for you, because you never deserted me, and I'm the one that feel like you deserted me. He said, no, I didn't deserted you. I moved. Okay, because I moved. Even I moved to the end of the world, as long I have this phone, as long you stay in touch with me on Facebook and what have you, we'd be fine. We still we still be connect. I'll still be able to help whatever you need. So that's how it is in my community. You know, I mean, especially in the middle age, family members or community members who didn't speak enough English to advocate for themselves. You know. So with that experience, I I continue to do a lot of volunteer work. When someone called me and needed help, I pick up my phone still, you know, because my phone is solicited into the community in Stockton, California, and in Fresno, because I tell them that if they need help, they can call me anytime. So it's just like my my in-kind service. You know, I don't get paid for it, but then I do work, help with people with volunteer time. In-kind mean that we don't get paid for our service. So it's a complacency. You know, people say, you know, that's a waste of time. How could you afford to work with people with special needs, or how you could afford to not getting paid for your service? You know, I mean, there's certain thing that money can't buy. Okay, so if money can buy everything, no one die and no one suffer. Let's put it that way. Okay, but I love my community. I'll be available and be helping them anytime, even I'm in the end of the world. I mean, at the corner of the world somewhere. So when I was in Thailand, I have to switch over to like a broadband number overseas, right? So I have to buy like the internet from Thailand or Cambodia for me to have access to call home. So a lot of time when I was gone, people cannot reach me. So they thought that something happened to me, and I have all kind of messages leaving on my Facebook and stuff like that. But sometimes when I have access to home internet, so I'm able to get on Facebook and talk to them online and things like that. But the internet is so costly, because I remember when I paid $20 from airport buying the internet, and I call home like 5 minutes later, my internet like depleted. I'm like, I thought I was supposed for a whole month, and I think I didn't learn enough. I felt like I was being scammed, because when I asked the guy at the airport, say, how long is this hour's gonna last? Oh no, it's gonna last you a long time. So no, it didn't last me a long time. I call home, just tell my kid to tell my sweetheart that I arrived safely in Thailand, being transported out of the airport to go to my destinations, and I was on the phone for a little bit, and ding, blank. It was sad. So so my first destination was in Thailand, welcoming by a whole bunch of family members from Nakhon Ratchasima with the big 10, 15, 18 seaters. So like almost the whole village came to welcome me and picking me up from the airport, because a lot of my family members live in a rural area, so they never been in the city, especially the airport. And even the little kid, you know, my second cousin, my niece, little baby, they want to see the plane. They want to come along to. They cry. They want to come to the airport. They want to see the airplane. That was the most broken heart for me, because that little kid wanted to see airplanes. So there was two little kids, and like one of them like only 2 years old, and he wanted to see the plane. So we brought him. So the mother didn't get to bring him to pick me up, but I brought them with me to drop me off at the airport. He was like fascinated at the sight of the plane. You know, when you see this plane in the air, flying on the air, when we reach near the airport, and he was like, "Where, mom? Where, mom?" And mom like pointing her finger at the like distant airplane. I'm like, oh my goodness. So when he get to the airport, he saw the sight of the plane. He was like almost jumped out of the van to see it. You know, it was like fascinating, because for us, you know, we lived there, we've been there and see that, and like nothing new. But for some people, especially the kid from the rural area, they never been to the city, the big city in Bangkok or in Phnom Penh. They never seen the plane, you know, especially in the area where the plane don't fly over, in the region where there's no plane flying over, so the kid never seen the plane. So I'm like, wow. To me, I'm like, oh. So that was one of the experience for me to oversee experience. So yeah, and I have seen something crazy too, because talking about gas stations with the local American logo, right? So this baby, his name is Frank. He has an American name. So Frank knew about this gas station. So you know, the gas station, there's American snack and toys. So we were driving to go to the city to buy stuff for the cooking for me, because we were having family gatherings and commemoration, Buddhist commemoration, so we need a lot of food. So we have truck full of family member want to go shopping with me, because they like to go shopping with me because they get special treat. I treated them with food, you know, whatever they need, a little thing, I pay for them, because like a little toy here and there, a little kid don't get to have it, so they get to have when they shop with me. So I give them a little money so they can go buy the treat and stuff like that. So when they know that I'm embarking for the market, everybody jump in the trunk, you know, I mean, so the trunk with no seat belt, with no seat and thing like that. They put the mattress over the trunk of the truck, and everybody's right on the open trunk, you know, I mean, yeah, you know, when the with the air and all that, so with the rain, so there's time when the monsoon comes, so everybody got wet on the back. So the front seat are full, the middle seat are full, and then a whole bunch of family members sitting in the open trunk. So I mean, in Thailand, in Cambodia, you know, I mean, there's no seatbelt law, and the speeding limits in some area are not being enforced, just like suicidal. I'm like, oh God, please don't, you know, spare my life, because I need to go home and do some repenting, because this is like suicidal, you know. So my uncle know that when he transporting us, he said, go with the limit, don't speed on me, because your seatbelt not working. You got a whole bunch of family member in the trunk. If something happen, we're gonna all die. So then my cousin, she or he like to speed. I said no, especially when the monsoon rain come. It's so severe, so heavy, you can't see the road, you have to pull over. I said, pull over, do not drive in the zero visibility, do not do that, pull over. So little Frank saw that we pull over in front of this gas station, the American's gas station, or the what you call it, it's American what you call it, okay, this is one of American gas stations. So he know what's inside a gas station there. So his mom went out of the rain and took him to inside the gas station. And Frank said that he was hungry. He wants some American snack. You know, that's American snack. You know, we're talking about the chips and all that. So Frank not only want the snack, he sees some toys. So his mom couldn't afford it, and he's spoiled. So he want everything, and he be like, throw the worst tantrum ever. Everybody turned to see Frank lying on the ground, kicking his leg in the air, like he, you know, that worst tantrum ever. So his mom was pregnant with twin. I think she was about 6 months then. She was huge, and Frank was a big boy. So I turned over to see Frank. Frank won't let me touch him. He attached to his mom and grandma only. For some reason he never want to be around other people beside his mom and grandma. So his grandma was the most spoiler. She spoiled him everything, because they're first grandchild. So how it go, you know, grandparents like to spoil the grandkids. Second with his mom and grandpa and dad. So everybody spoiled little Frankie. So Frankie was on the floor, throw the worst tantrum. So I asked, what did he need? She called me great auntie, because I'm older. Her mom is my cousin, so she's second cousin. Great auntie, First he told me that he wants some snack. Now he see toy. He want both the snack and the toys, and I can't afford both. I gave her some spending money, but then she didn't want to spend on him because he really only need one item. But Frank won't leave the area until he get all his items. So he's on the floor. Not only that, he was like throw the worst tantrum. He was crying, and Frank had this clear vocal. He was just like, his vocal was so clear that he talked so loud, he cried so loud, like he's on the speaker, loudspeaker. I'm like, oh my goodness. So his mom was giving in, and Frank was not giving in. Frankie was not giving in, so both of them struggled. So his mom finally dragged him out of that gas station. So Frankie was like having the worst cry spell ever, so after the rain subside and everybody have to sit on the wet trunks, and we just homebound, so we're going home, and Frankie still cry, exhausted himself. He cries so much because he couldn't get the toys and the snack. He only get one snack, not the toy. So he continued to cry and pouting until he got home. And before he get home, he exhausted. He started throwing up his mom, and yeah, the whole bit. So that was my memory of Frankie. He was like, so I think I told this story before. So another time when Frankie came to visit me at my uncle's house, so they only about a short block away. So they either walking there or they came on their little moped. I always see them in the morning. So one day, so his mom was working, so she doesn't have her mom. The grandmother would give them daily allowance so they can get snack in between. Her mom working in the American chicken factory in Thailand, so she's been with them for so long. She's about to retire. So Frankie wanted something from the neighborhood grandma and grandpa store. So they had all kind of snack. Again, it's not as big as the American franchise. Okay, the word franchise gas station, but they have snack, like the unhealthy snack. So Frank tell his mom that he said he speak loudly, clearly, very clear, said he wants some snack. So his mom said, well, go over then tell them that put on the credit. I turned over. What? Frank have a credit line with the neighborhood store? Yeah, auntie, the store owner have credit for Frankie because they know Frankie, they know us. So when Frankie wants something, he'll go get whatever we need, and they will write it down and keep the records of Frankie purchase for the day. I said, oh, what? I never heard that before. Now you're just like, what? Frankie had a credit with the neighborhood store? I said, yes. So I'm like, I was like, okay. So I'm like, Buddha, just bless me right now because it was like ridiculous. So Frankie, Frankie now had two twin brothers. So I had great memory with Frankie. We went on a motorcycle visiting different places, and Frankie never allowed me to hold him. The only two people that can hold him is his grandma and his mother. Those are the two people that Frankie trust and love, and the rest he didn't care, not even his dad. So that was memory with Frankie. So now he have two. His mom gave birth to twin brothers. So now, sorry, the linen from this. So guess what? The twin brother look so much alike. They're like Frankie the third, Frankie the fourth. So they all look alike. I mean, the curly hair, the whole physical being, the face, the facial, and the smile. I have not heard the baby, but I hope they don't sound the same too. It would be confusing. It would be like triplet now, instead of twin. So love little Frankie though. He gotta have it, and with the credit with the mom, with the neighborhood store. That's like amazing. The child hasn't had a job. I think they trust each other. I think the store owner just got tired of him going over there and wants something to snack on, and he doesn't have money. So So the store owner know that his grandma works, so the grandma will be come over at the end of the month to pay for the bills, you know. So I'm like, ooh, allow this Frankie to have bills from beginning of time like this, like not cool. So I'm trying to tell the mom that stop that, control Frankie before you can no longer have a hold of his future. That's it's a no. But if I don't do it, he be crying. Let Frankie cry. But you see how he cry? It take all day. Well, I have not seen any kid to die from constant crying. Okay, when he get too tired, he'll fall asleep. When he's out of energy, he'll fall asleep. When he's out of oxygen, he'll be tired and fall asleep. He'll be crying after he woke up again. Or let him be. Maybe in a week time, a month time, he'll learn. But he said it was hard. No, you have to do it. Stop doing that for Frankie. No more credit for Frankie because he couldn't afford to pay for it. So don't allow this kid to learn how to deceive, learn how to manipulate, learn how to control you and put you into that category. Don't do that. So I was teaching my cousin this. I don't know whether she even listened to me or not, but I need to ask her how's Frankie doing with his neighborhood credit. You know, well, I couldn't help but laughing. Credit, put Frankie on credit. I'm like that's too much. Yeah, well, that was a funny joke with Frankie. Oh my goodness. So, damaged kisses. Hello to you. Thank you for dropping by. Oh, you out of town? Where you at? On vacation? Well, thank you, damaged kiss. You too, sweetheart. Okay, wherever you at, make sure you are blessed and healed same way. I know that you told me the other days that things are not going too well, but then prayerfully praying that you do, because you're the same way. I'm still not altogether. You know that I'm still worried about Cambodia, especially when they are under scrutinized, and though the world know the truth about what's going on, but then you know the opposition is not backing down, and they always come up with their provocations and scare tactic and antagonizing Cambodia, and people live in constant fear when they're going to get attacked. In fact, I didn't want to talk about it, but let me share with you why I'm constantly feared for my people in Cambodia, because it was the night before us, so Cambodia is a day ahead of us. So it was last night, I think, where the soldiers was on phone recording the incident where it was like in the middle of the night where the Thai soldiers deploys the remote control drone that equipped with the tear gas. So they've been dropping tear gas, not with the airplane, that cause other commotion and noises. Now they use drones where it's more quiet, so there's no proof they're doing that. But then the only witness are the people who seen the criminal act. Okay, so he was online and send the messages, and you know those tear gas was like the white powder or phosphorus or something like that. So it had like these dangerous chemicals that if it in contact with them. Thank you. I'm sorry, the internet is really crazy today, so I don't have like a clear um I don't have like the smooth um content today. Same thing for the other day too. So yeah, so it's a little provocation such as that with a slingshot shooting at the soldiers to provoke the uh, the attack. Okay, but Cambodian soldiers are more disciplined. They've been more than patient. They, you know, they become victims of that inventions. And also, yeah, the slingshots and the tear gas with the drones. Okay, it's not by the plane anymore. The plane was too visible, so they do in the middle of the night with the drone. They have pretty much idea where all the Khmer force are at. So people in the hiding, and they don't have proper gas masks to even deal with those kind of chemical. So even Cambodian are now setting the chemical warfare equipment with the mask. You know, the regular mask, it's not going to work. You know, American chemical war mask is like, you know, those like alien look with goggle with breathing apparatus. It's nothing like that. They're trying to use like a cheap mask, you know, like N15 mask, like surgical mask. It's not gonna do anything. And then, you know, the skin, the contact with skin, it burn their eye, their nose, their breathing, and, you know, I mean, their respiratory infections, and it just, so that's what worried me, you know. I mean, when it's gonna stop? It's horrible. So you've been doing okay? Damage kisses, everything working out for you? It's good to have you on here. I know I'm not cooking today. I take a break because it's getting really warm today. It's not normal. I mean, it's not abnormal, but this time where I don't feel like cooking, so I'm crocheting flowers here. I think you've seen it. I finished one flower here. See that? It's called Rum Dual. I don't have an American name for it, but it's a beautiful Cambodian national flowers. Okay, so it grew in the big. It's not a shrub. It's a big tree. So in order to get to Rum Dual, to get Rum Dual flower, you have to climb the tree. Okay, it's not like jasmine. Jasmine is like a little vine. You go climbing on the trellis. This right here came in from a big tree, just like champaka. The champaka is the flower that I have dangling here. I was showing my audience that in Cambodia, Cambodian women use this as perfume. So they put a whole bunch of this on the hair, dangling like what I do here, and enjoy the fragrance of the sweetness of the champaka. Okay, I do that. I have fragrant flowers, garden flowers, garden. So I have champaka, I have jasmine, I have the Duke of Tuscany, the big blossom, and I have Arabian jasmine, the single petals, and I have star jasmine that are a regular American jasmine. So when it blooms, the whole backyard is like, what do you call it? It just like, it smells like expensive perfume department. You know, you can smell it because it's so sweet, especially champaka. It's so sweet. So to get champaka, you have to go online, order champaka. It's the name of, what you call it, magnolia, champaka, magnolia. So it relates to magnolia flowers, you know, the big magnolia flowers. So, but this is like, this champaka here is very prominent, grown in Thailand. I saw them too in Cambodia, in Laos. I'm not sure in Burma or Sri Lanka or even Indonesia because I have not been to the country. So, but American grown this now. Okay, so it's online. So in order to get champaka, you have to go online and order one. I got one plant from my in-law. So it was kind enough for her to propagate it because she had a big tree of it. So I don't know about air cut because I don't know much about champaka, but I know jasmine. I can do air cut and then leave it in the water over time. It'll grow roots. I don't know how sensitive champaka is, but I know that do the propagations. I know how to do propagation. I used to do that for if I needed an extra plant from a friend of mine, you know. But when my champaka is getting a little bit bigger, maybe, you know, I'll try it, do the maybe I'll try to do the what do you call it, the propagation. So I have extra plants. So last one I have, I ordered online and I paid $70-$80 for it. It was like this tall, about 3 feet tall, and I was so in love with champaka. I was proud owner of it, and I had it for not too long, and my champaka died. I think sometimes when you like care too much about something, or value something too high, and then that thing kind of leave you. And same thing for that champaka. So I think I I wanted that thing to grow, that plant to grow so badly. So I think I watered too much and I fertilized too much, and then I think the root just rotten, and that was the end of that champaka. So then I didn't. That was like back in 2020, and then this champaka here I had from last year. So it had flowers at beginning of spring, and then it produced more flowers in the middle of August. So I thought that's pretty good. So maybe she does the year round. Maybe she will bloom in every 4 months. I'm not sure. So I'm still learning about her. So we'll see how it goes. But it's beautiful though. This is like a joy for me. Farmers, the sense of accomplishment for farmers when you see that your plant growing crops, growing plant, growing fruit, and growing flowers. That's like you done a good job, and that you are like a certified farmers, of your own right. And that, but it's hard to keep anything alive over here. But I have to say that I'm pleased with my champaka. So far, so good. I think she be doing okay. But I just remember not to give that special love, that unbiased, the biased love, because I feel that champaka is more special than, first of all, my jasmine is more special. Now I have champaka. I think that she's more special than the jasmine. I think the jasmine kind of jealous at me. So, hello, be still here. So I'm trying to like give them that undivided love, give them the same amount of treatments and care. Yeah. So, but sometimes they said that that when you hug a tree, I can't remember exactly what it said. Okay, so I read something that I don't remember quite well, but they said that when you hug a tree, touch a tree, okay, especially hug a tree, the tree transfer that energy, that natural earth kind of earthy energy to you. So I never try that. I try to touch the plant. Sometimes you feel the shock, or you feel that energy, the I don't know. If you see the what is that movie? Can't remember the movie. The movie. Oh, hold on. That beautiful movie depicting the civilizations. I can't even say it. Hold on, it'll come back to me. Anyway, so remember the tree of life, when the dead, near the death experience, or near death, and then buried the person under the tree of life, and the tree absorbed the energy from the dead and give the dead a new life, or something like that, or the tree had that energy to like heal the illness. I mean, the American Indians, they know more about the healings and the life. When you watch the Pocahontas, how people and how the American Indian believe that everything have life. Same thing. I mean, it is. Tree have life, have spirit, not life, have spirit. So believe it. I think the tree possesses spirit too, and it possesses the spirits where it connect with human, and that's why in my bedroom, I had all kind of plants. You know, I mean, on my windowsill, I don't like to cover my windowsill. I like to have that natural light. So I'm sitting um, facing my windows, and in the backyard, there was trellis plant cover the, the brick wall. So it's like the whole brick wall covered with vines. And it doesn't have florals. It had fruit, but no flowers. I don't know how that happened, but it's not attractive wine. But then it keep the backyard cool, and so it run about 50, 60 feet. It hasn't covered the whole wall yet. But one day when it covered the whole wall, and when my neighbor told me that he wanted to cut it, he wanted to remove the vines, and so this is when I started great creating great neighborhood relationship. I said, no, don't remove it. I love it. Well, he said that he afraid that I would not want the messy green in the backyard. I said, oh no, I love it. You know, I mean, to have this kind of backyard covered with the overgrown vine over the fence like that. That's beautiful. Okay, so that's what I tell them. Just leave it is. And then when James passed away, he died from cancer, and it still broke my heart because he's such a good person, and I used to share my my refugee experience with him, and he was telling me that, but this house fit for a big family with children. He loved to hear the sound of children. He never got married. He never had kids up until the day that he passed. He said that this house always been senior citizen move here, and one family after the next, and they never have kids running around crying, kicking the ball over the fence when he saw us moving. So we start with two. I start with my own two grandchildren, and then we fostered another baby, another child. So we take care of another family members. So we have three of them. So they often kick the ball over to their yard, and they always retrieve it. So he was telling me that, he was happy that we moved in the neighborhood and to hear the children playing in the backyard. And he doesn't mind about the ball got kicking over. He always retrieve the balls. My other neighbors, the wife's school teachers, and husband is, I think he work in the factories, and she's okay. She's not as friendly, not receptive, but she doesn't bother us, and we don't never bother her. I say hello when I see her out, and she had same dog that I do. They yap all the time and bark at me every day when I'm out there because they're being left outside also. Same thing with my dog, yap for no reason. So yeah, so plant like play an important role in my life because I was growing up in my father's farms, and so I'm always surrounded with rice field, with coconut plantation, with with orchid. The flowers are dangling from the Amazon and the monsoon, the Amazon. No, we are not on Amazon. We're on the monsoon, and those overgrown trees. Okay, so that's where the orchid grow. They grow. Orchids are parasite plant that grow over another tree, another branches of another plant. Okay, so in a day, I don't know the value of orchids. So when I go to the jungle to the wood with my grandpa, I saw monkeys all over. I also saw all kind of orchids. So we don't pay attention to it. We don't know the value of orchids. There are no wild orchids. And then the orchards are the fruit farms my grandparents have, the coconuts and the papayas and the bananas. So they grew all kind of fruits, and the mango, jackfruits. I was growing up with all those plants in not the backyard. My grandparents have orchards, so they have farms. And so that's why I have that fond memories of that early experience with those tropical fruit from my very own family. So that's why I was saying that, I'm just worried about Cambodia a lot, and I don't know what the future will be if Thai just use provocation to scare them, to use this tactic to scare them, and to allow them to submissive to they demand, they're not releasing the 18 captive soldiers. You know, there's no reason for them to keep those soldiers. For what? If they already signed a ceasefire agreement, so what's the reason of keeping those soldiers? You know, so that's why Cambodians still protesting, hold rallies, and demand that the community at large will help. I don't know how they're going to help. I know that they petitioned for the U.S. president to step in. You know, I mean, that's why I don't know whether that is already done or not. You know, but it still raised so many concern and issue